In Through the Outdoor is the eighth studio album by the English rock band Led Zeppelin, and their final album of entirely new material. It was recorded over a 3-week period in November and December 1978 at ABBA's Polar Studios in Stockholm, Sweden, and released by Swan Song Records on August 15, 1979. In Through the Outdoor was the band's eighth and final studio release to reach the top of the charts in America, and was the last released by the band before the death of drummer John Bonham in 1980. Background: the album was named by the group to describe its recent struggles amidst the death of Robert Plant Sankarak in 1977, and the taxation exile the band took from the UK. The exile resulted in the band being unable to tour on British soil for over 2 years, and trying to get back into the public mind was therefore like trying to get in through the outdoor. In contrast to previous Led Zeppelin albums, In Through the Outdoor features much greater influence on the part of bassist and keyboardist John Paul Jones and vocalist Robert Plant, and relatively less from drummer John Bonham and guitarist Jimmy Page. 2 songs from the album Southbound Souris, and All My Love were the only 2 original Led Zeppelin songs that Jimmy Page had no part in writing. With the exception of Darlene, a boogie-woogie-based song credited to all band members, Bonham did not receive writing credits for any of the songs recorded at Polar Studios. This diminished input by Page and Bonham is attributed to the 2 band members often not showing up on time at the recording studio, with Bonham struggling with alcoholism and Page battling heroin addiction. As Jones said, there were 2 distinct camps by then, and we, Plant and I, were in the relatively clean one. Many of the songs were consequently put together by Plant and Jones during the day, with Page and Bonham adding their parts late at night. According to Jones, this was, following the recording sessions at Polar Studios, the album was mixed at Page's personal studio at his home in Plumpton. Wearing and Tearing, Ozone Baby, and Darlene were recorded during sessions for this album, but were dropped because of space constraints. All later appeared on Coda. Album sleeve design: the original album featured an unusual gimmick. The album had an outer sleeve which was made to look like a plain brown paper bag, and the inner sleeve featured black and white line artwork which, if washed with water, would become permanently fully colored. There were also 6 different sleeves featuring a different pair of photos, and the external brown paper sleeve meant that it was impossible for record buyers to tell which sleeve they were getting. The pictures all depicted the same scene in a bar, and each photo was taken from the separate point of view of someone who appeared in the other photos. The bar is the Absinthe Bar, located at 400 Bourbon Street in New Orleans, LA. The walls are covered with thousands of yellowed business cards and dollar bills. It was recreated in a London studio for the album sleeve design. The album artwork was designed by Hypnosis. Storm Thorgerson recalls the design in his book Eye of the Storm. In 1980, Hypnosis were nominated for a Grammy Award in the category of Best Album Package for In Through the Outdoor. Release and critical reaction: the album was intended to be released before the band's twin concerts at Nebworth in 1979, but production delays meant that it was released shortly after their performances at this event. Plant jokingly referred to the delays at times during the performance on August 4. Despite receiving poor reviews, the album went to number 1 on Billboard's chart in its second week on the chart. On this album's release, Led Zeppelin's entire catalog made the Billboard 200 between the weeks of October 23 and November 3, 1979, an unprecedented feat. The album remained on the U.S. top spot for 7 weeks and sold 3 million copies by the end of September 1979. It is also the Led Zeppelin album that has been most weeks on the top of the charts. To date, the album has sold 6 million copies in the U.S. Following its release, Plant, Page and Bonham all expressed reservations about the album. In 1990, Plant stated, in a 1998 Guitar World magazine interview, Page was asked about the paradigm shift of the album's composition and style. GW, I thought maybe you were losing your enthusiasm for the band. Page, never. Never. In fact, Bonzo, that is drummer John Bonham, and I had already started discussing plans for a hard-driving rock album after that. We both felt that In Through the Outdoor was a little soft. I was not really very keen on All My Love. I was a little worried about the chorus. I could just imagine people doing the wave and all of that. And I thought, that is not us. That is not us. In its place it was fine, but I would not have wanted to pursue that direction in the future. In the same interview, Page explained that in juxtaposition to the previous Presence album, John Paul Jones was inspired to create new material from his recently purchased Yamaha GX1 synthesizer, and he was working closely with Robert, which was something that had not happened before. Page said in 2004, "We wanted, after In Through the Outdoor, to make something hard-hitting and riff-based again. Of course, we never got to make that album." He is also quoted as saying it wasn't the most comfortable album. "I think it was very transitional. A springboard for what could have been." On the other hand, former road manager Richard Cole stated in his book Stairway to Heaven during his time with the band, that after John Bonham sat through and listened to All My Love, he declared that it was the best song in which he ever heard Robert sing. In Through the Outdoor was Led Zeppelin's final album to be released while the band was together. Drummer John Bonham died the next year on September 25, 1980. Accolades, track listing, sales chart performance, singles, sales certifications, personnel, Led Zeppelin, John Bonham Euro drums, John Paul Jones Euro bass guitar, mandolin, keyboards, synthesizer, piano, Jimmy Page Euro electric and acoustic guitars, Gizmotron, production, Robert Plant Euro lead vocals, additional personnel, Barry Dimento Euro mastering, Peter Grant Euro executive producer, Hypnosis Euro record sleeve, Leif Mazes Euro engineering, George Marinau Euro remastered compact disc release, Jeff Ocheltre Euro drum tech with John Bonham, Len Artistlund Euro assistant engineering. References. External links, In Through the Outdoor at Music Brains, images of the 6 covers. Stormforgerson's official website Euro includes an In Through the Outdoor feature, Rick Barrett In Through the Outdoor album covers.